So in this video, we're going to actually look at inserting sound or sound effects or background music into our Adobe Animate project. Sound is great because if we have obviously the animation, or if you even have a motion picture that tells a story, sound helps tell that story even better, most of the time anyways. So let's begin here. Very first process, we should always go out and get our sound after our animation is actually completed. And that's my advice anyways, because once you have your animation, you kind of visualize in your head what the sound's going to be like. And then you can then say, okay, great, this is going to go here, and I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to do this. So I've got this great animation. It's Rube Goldberg that a student did in grade 10, and I'm going to add some music to it. So going into YouTube, there is an awesome Rube Goldberg music video. And this is literally the best Rube Goldberg I've ever seen in my entire life. And not to mention the fact that it is almost 4 minutes. Okay, so we're going to grab that and we're going to shorten that down and put that into our Adobe Animate. So let's grab the link here. I'm going to right click and copy that. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and grab a YouTube to MP3 site. There's lots of them. I like to use this converter right over here. My only concern about these sites is sometimes you get a lot of pop-ups. Just block the pop-ups, ignore them, and now I'm just going to go right click and paste it. And what I want to do is make sure I'm in MP3 format and do a quick convert. So let's just block that here. All right, so that's done very quickly. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the download button here. And there it is. So let's go ahead and view this in the folder. And it's always in your downloads folder anytime you grab something from these kinds of sites. Okay, great. Now, again, my animation in Adobe Animate, I timed to be about 38 seconds. So what I'd probably want to do is I want to trim my clip down to 38 seconds so it actually fits with the length of this animation. A couple ways that we can do that. The very first way that we can do that is we can actually just go to MP3 Editor Online. And you could either use the audio trimmer or this one right here. Either one works. I like them. I'll use the online MP3 cutter, and it's very easy to use. However, if you want to kind of go pro mode and you really like editing sound, you can grab Audacity. It is free, open source. It works fantastic, and you can do a lot more with this program that you can do with some of these online programs. So you can try that out if you want, but I'm just trying to be simplistic here. I'm just going to just do this and just work with this mp3cut.net. Okay, so here is my file, and I'm just going to just drag and drop it right into this area. Okay, so this is the sound wave of the entire music video that we captured and converted into an MP3 format. Now you can see that it is almost 4 minutes long, and I need something that's 38 minutes long. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to probably insert my cursor right about here because I want to capture it when the music video starts, and a whole bunch of it is just kind of like dead time. So let me hit the space bar. Okay, perfect. So I know that my video starts right about at this mark right over here. Great. Now I'm going to grab this endpoint and I'm going to drag this right about here where it starts. Now let's hit the space bar and test that out. Okay, so I got to drag a little bit more forward, about like that. Let's try it again. All right, not quite. Okay, close enough. Now, the end part, I'm going to drag all the way over here. And again, what we want is we want our video to be roughly 38 seconds in duration. Now, how do I know it's 38 seconds in duration? Is this number right over here tells me it's about 28 seconds long. And I'm going to extend this out to be about 38 seconds. Close enough. So my end point starts at 23 seconds and the end of it is about 1 minute and 1 second, which gives me a total of 38 seconds, which is perfect. That's exactly what I need. Now you can see the format right over here, and you can see it is going to be outputted into a MP3 format, which is great. Now, one thing I can also do is I can add a fade out if I want to. Now, I never like to fade in music because you typically capture that sound when you want it to start, but at the end, your music should never shut off abruptly. So we're going to add a fade out by clicking on that, and you can see it's actually highlighted in green. You can also see how this little sound wave kind of collapsed on itself. So we know it's actually fading out on its own. So once we've got our video timed to the duration of your animation, then what we need to do is, of course, cut it, fade it out, and now we're going to do a quick cut, and it's going to start encoding everything. Again, once it's done, it's going to actually save into your downloads folder. And here it is. So let's go show in folder. Okay, great. Now I got two files. I got to make sure I got the one that is the shorter of the two. And an easy way to do that is just look at this and extended, and you know that this is the MP3 cut version that we're going to insert into Adobe Animate because it says MP3 cut and we just used that. So that makes that part pretty easy. All right, so let's go over and into scene one. We're going to create a new layer, and that new layer we're going to rename, and we're going to call this Music Soundtrack. Just do a double click here. Music Soundtrack. There, it's just adding these little underscores here to join everything. All right, so let's grab that music that we just ended up editing. So I'm going to go File. What I want to do is I want to import, and I want to import to the library. So when I import to the library, here it is. And again, I got to find the MP3 cut version. I'm going to double click on that, and you're going to see it's going to be added to my library. Not too sure where it is. So wow, there's a lot of symbols in here. It's almost like I have to search for it. Here it is. Okay, great. Now, with my playhead into the very first frame, what I'm going to do is going to drag and drop this. A lot of students I find try dragging and drop this on the timeline. That doesn't work. You can see I got the big no symbol. What we actually have to do is grab the sound clip, and we actually have to drag and drop it on the stage. Now you can see the sound clip. This sound clip will play throughout the entire animation, and since we timed it to about 38 seconds, which is the duration of our animation, it should play quite smoothly. So let's do a quick preview or Control Enter, and you'll start to hear the music play throughout the various scenes. Now I'm going to stop it right there. Just a word of caution. If your sound clip is longer than your actual animation, in Adobe, when you hit that Control Enter to create that SWF file, it's just going to start playing the music on top of each other. However, if you export it as a video file, like an MP4 format, ready for YouTube and stuff like that, it does not overlap when it plays itself. Just know that anyways. I like to still trim all my video. Okay, so that's the first part, is actually just getting the background music. Now what I want to do next is grab a sound effect. So earlier I said I wanted to grab a sound effect for the alarm clock. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Let's create a new layer. I'm going to double click, and I'm going to put alarm clock. And you can see it just adds the underscore. I'm just going to drag this to the top too, just because it's a little bit easier for me to find stuff, especially the music part. All right, now going back onto the internet here, I'm going to go alarm clock MP3 free download. Sure. And there's tons of these different sound effects sites that you can grab. All right, so let's just play it and see what we got. Probably not. I want something a little bit more traditional. No. Perfect. That's exactly what I want right over here. Okay, so let's go ahead and download this. All right, so here it is. Let's download the MP3 version, and it's going to be in a zip file. So let me go show in folder one more time, and I'm just going to actually extract, right-click, extract here, and there it is. Let's just preview it, make sure it works. Awesome. Okay, so let's go back into Adobe Animate, and we're going to have this start right at the beginning frame. So same thing before. File, import to library, and there it is. Now you can, if you'd like, just to actually just drag it right onto the stage, and it will put it in the library in the stage. It kind of saves you a step. So I'm going to go File, Import, and let's actually just do it to the stage right here, and you can see the sound effect, which is almost perfect in length for what we're looking for. Okay, and you'll also notice that you will see it too somewhere into your library, and like I said, there's tons of symbols, but here it is, twin bell alarm clock. It is there. So let's do a Control Enter, see how that looks. Okay, great. So we talked about the different sound effects that we're going to have. The last one that we're going to do is an explosion. So let's go to scene 12 and let's add a new layer. Do a slow double click and I'm going to put explosion. Always a good idea to name your layers. A student unfortunately did not do that, which makes things really confusing when you're troubleshooting. But regardless, he did a fantastic job on the actual animation itself. Now I know that the explosion actually has to come in as soon as the rocket comes in and right about here. Okay, so I've got my explosion layer. I'm going to put my playhead right at this part, and if you guessed it, right click, insert keyframe. Our music will be actually inserted right here. So let's go back onto the trusted internet, and I will do explosion MP3 free download. And let's check out a variety of different ones and see what works for us. Sure, let's try the grenades. That looks interesting. I think that's going to work. So let's grab this and do a quick download. I'm just trying to see where... Oh, this is actually a WAV file. Not a big deal. WAV files are just larger in file sizes than MP3s, but it's not a big deal. Okay, so I clicked on here. Now I'm just looking for the download button. Or am I going to have to find a different site? Because I don't want to log in to download. I just want to download this thing. Okay, well, you got the idea anyways. I'm going to let you finish this off. And remember, though, if you want your sound effects to start at a different location in a scene, just insert that keyframe where you require that sound to be. And you kind of get the idea in the picture. Now, I know that some of your animations will have dialogue as well, too. So you can use your smart device with the recorder, and you can, you know, get a friend to, you know, just record some words. And you can just bring that onto your computer and then add that to your Adobe Animate presentation. So in any event, that is it for sound. Good luck and have fun incorporating that into your animation. Bye for now.